Let's be factual. The average salary of a garden trainee in Lagos is 400,000 naira. Half of that might already be going into rent. Take a quarter for transportation, consider feeding and personal care. You realize that many are just surviving, living from one paycheck to another. Some are wallowing in debt already. So how can you achieve financial success as a salary earner? Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, my name is Aderike Lawal. I'm a liquid practitioner and I major in capital market operations. What do we do on this channel? We talk about what to invest in, how to invest, and most importantly, where to invest. If this sounds like what you're interested in, please do like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you can be alerted whenever I release my video. I'm sorry, but for 1 second, I have to sound like one of these aspire to perspire people. I know many of us don't like motivational speeches, but in actual fact, most of these things are the truth. If you are thinking of financial success as a salary earner, then you must do away with the employee mindset. Most salary earners are stuck in a cycle. They work through the month, get their salary, pay bills, and wait for the next paycheck day. If you want to be different from these people that I've described, you have to see your job as more than just a source of income, your salary as a capital generator. Your salary as a capital can either be deployed as an investment into a business or to grow a side hustle. And I will give you 2 examples of powerful women that I respect so much, Mrs. Ibukwa Washika and Mrs. Shola Adeshakin. Okay, so Shola Adeshakin's story is a very interesting one. I will recommend to anybody to watch any of our interviews.
Hurting me. I became the finance manager of my company, but 2 weeks after salary was paid, I would be broke. I would be writing an IOU form. Do you know what IOU means? Like an advance.
She's a graduate of accounting, and even though she started her career in the finance sector, she didn't quite understand the knowledge of money management, and she found herself living from one paycheck to another, as I've explained in this video. It got to a point she had to make a decision to be different and think of alternative source of income. And guess what? One of the first things she did to make money was selling pastries to her colleagues in the office. According to her, she identified the gap, filled in the gap, and made money while at it. Also, on several occasions, Mrs. Ibukwa Oshika has also mentioned the fact that she started her furniture business while still doing a 9-to-5. There are so many examples. Look at Dangote, starting with confectionery, Dangote sugar, Dangote cement, and now Dangote refinery. It is never enough. I know it's good to be contented, but you have to maximize your potential to the fullest level. Using myself as an example, I work a 9-to-5 as a lawyer. I'm a writer in my spare time and a tutor. I organize master classes from time to time. I engage in a lot of things. There was even a time that one of my friends messaged me that is like, you are trying to make 1 billion this year. It's a joke, but like I told her, bills don't smile. If you don't have anyone you depend on, you want to live a comfortable lifestyle, want to have savings and investments, then you have to work for it. You cannot just depend on one source of income. Not even in this current economy, except maybe you're already in a managerial position or you are earning substantially, and it is never enough, because as you move up, sometimes your bills also move up. But jokes apart, you need the excess income to be able to save and invest more. Now that the income part is settled, let's talk about savings and investments. Remember at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that this video is about how to achieve financial success, build 7 to 8 figures as a salary earner. And you can hardly achieve that without savings and investments. But before we speak about savings and investments, I would like to speak briefly on cash flow management. In simple terms, that means budgeting. No matter the amount you earn, if you do not understand money management, if you have a spending problem, you might as well just stop trying, because the only way to build wealth is to keep more than you give. This means that you need to stop spending as the spirit leads, allocate a certain percentage to your bills. The simplest formula you can use is the 50-30-20 rule, which means that 50% goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, and 20% goes to your savings and investments. So by needs, it means essentials, things that you cannot necessarily do without, talking about housing, feeding, transportation, things that you know are your recurrent bills. Then wants, things that you can spare, maybe going out with your friends, buying new clothes. So many 20% allocate to your savings and investments. And the best way to do this is to save before spending. So immediately you get your salary, make sure you remove the 20% before you even start spending, because if you start spending before saving, best believe that month might end up not saving at all. So now to savings and investment, the very first step you need to take is to build an emergency fund. From the name emergency, from savings for emergencies. You know, when we're small, they will say save for rainy days, save for rainy days. So that's the most basic function of an emergency fund. Building an emergency fund prevents you from dipping into your savings and investments. If you jump into retirement savings or investments without an emergency fund, it's like putting the cart before the horse, and you find yourself that whenever an emergency arises, you go back to liquidate your portfolio, whether your savings or your investments. So it is always good to have an emergency fund just before you start your retirement savings or investments, because if you do it the other way around, just realize that your savings keep saving you like some people joke. This means that whenever an emergency arises, you find yourself breaking your savings or liquidating your investment portfolio. So before you start your retirement savings, your investments, please put aside an amount for your emergencies. And usually what is recommended is 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. So lastly, let's talk about investment. There are 4 major classes of assets. We have stocks, we have fixed income instruments, we have real estate, and we have commodities. You can invest in any of these assets depending on your risk appetite and depending on your age. For instance, if you're in your 20s, it is believed that you have time and you can take risks. So typically, you can have 70% of high risk assets like stocks and 30% fixed income instruments. If you're in your 30s, you want to create a balance. I have a video on how you can invest in your age. Check the description box for a link to that particular video. All in all, you have to measure your risk appetite. Now, let's look at this scenario. You're in your 20s, you earn about 400,000 naira monthly. You can afford to save or invest 50,000 naira consistently every month. For about 20 years, if you are saving or investing at 12% per annum, you'll be looking at 50 million naira, over 50 million naira after 20 years. Meanwhile, this is the least you can get in 20 years. Think of it this way: in your job, you grow, your salary and income also increases, and you get to save or invest more. Also, in between your investment journey, say in 5 or 10 years time, you can take a lump sum and invest in real estate, which you know has the ability to multiply your investments by 5, 10, depending on where you invest in. And I know that some people think 10 years, 20 years is a really long time. Truly, it's a long time. But think about it. 2016, 2017 feels like yesterday. You went to school for almost a decade and now you are reaping the fruits. So you just have to persevere. Yaku will manage. Manage. You go feel like you won't die, but you no go die.
Yakubu, manage! Yes, sir. You will feel it like you want to die, but you will not die. Exactly. Yes, sir.
Exactly. Yes, you just have to persevere, be consistent. In 10, 20 years, you'll be surprised at how much you have amassed. Especially if you diversify your portfolio. 12% is just the least you can get. Like, Nigeria is that good. If you diversify into stocks, you can get. This year, most people are up to date by 30% their portfolio. In all you do, ensure that you save and invest. That's how you can retire early. I always say it that when you save for one day in the future that you don't have to work. So please prioritize savings and investments. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Also subscribe, comment down below, and watch the videos that I've attached in the description box, because it will give you clarity on the next steps to invest in stocks, fixed income instruments. If you want to invest according to your age, like I've mentioned, all these links are in the description box. Bye.